Hey guys, welcome back to Stock Talk. Today is June 6th at 4:10 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm in a little makeshift kind of setup right now, but no matter, let's get right to it. Thanks again for joining me for another episode of Market Analysis. We're looking at SPY, which tracks an S&P 500 on the 180-day chart. So you guys can take a look at SPY. We talked about this breakout pattern because we broke over the 274 mark, and I'm actually going to remove level 2 because everything that we've talked about so far, even though we didn't do a video yesterday, has played out just as we had expected today, right? And yesterday. So what exactly happened in these past few days? Well, you can see that yesterday, we didn't do a video on this, but we retested the support that is actually really predictable because you can imagine how markets kind of want to retest the support if we're breaking out to say that, okay, we are indeed breaking out. But seeing that we've consolidated for so long on the 180-day chart, you guys see this horizontal pattern between the 270, 271 support and the 274 resistance. You guys can see that we've been bouncing off and on, and now we've finally broken out. We've talked about that this is a bull flag pattern. We can see this easier on the 1-year chart, but this is a bull flag pattern, and now we're breaking out. Recall, the blue line acts as the resistance line. Where did we stop today? Pretty much right where we expected it to, right? We expected markets to stop around 277.50, and the blue line is where we closed. So, all right, what are we looking for in the near future? Well, you guys can see that this has been a resistance. So we might come down a little. That would not be surprising at all. But since we're so bullish right now, looking at the 3-year chart, look how we're kind of gapping up, right, to the previous to the resistance now. Well, the next resistance is pretty much situated at 279. Kind of close by. So is that resistance significant? Yes, it's significant because if we start breaking over 279 mark, what do you think is going to happen? Well, higher prices are to come. 286 would be our next major resistance. So what am I going to be marking in right now? So let's mark in a couple of new lines as we see it. So we'll mark this one in. So this is the next resistance around 279.63. So let's just mark it right around here. Okay, and then finally we have a major resistance, of course, of here, right, on the previous high. So this is around 286.76. So what am I looking for in the near future? Doesn't mean that we are going to go straight higher. I mean, we certainly could go all the way higher, but because we've had a bullish streak of, once again, doesn't this kind of look like this? Right? We can still move past this resistance, get to the 279 mark. But overall, we want the markets to rest a little bit and see where we can consolidate before another push higher. I wouldn't be surprised if we do push the 279, 280 mark before we started consolidating sideways a little bit, because the Dow Jones went up another over 300 points today, and then the NASDAQ, of course, went up again a couple of percentage, so a 0.5% or so. So we see market bullish continuing to come up, and this really has not changed. I hope you guys were able to take advantage of those tickers, TQQQ, UDOW, right, SOXL. Those are all tickers that we can take advantage of as the markets are pushing to new, or not new highs, but breaking out of the bearish pattern. This is not too surprising. Looking at TVIX for volatility, this is not too surprising either. We see volatility breaking under its support, which is situated at 476, and now we're going even lower. So it's at 422. You know, we might go lower to $4. We might even go lower than that. So volatility is not something that we want to look in right now as the markets are pushing higher. So the next one let's take a look at is /CL, tracking crude oil futures. Right, so crude oil futures, we're looking at a 180-day chart, and crude oil, we know, has broken below its major support, right? The major support was around 66.08. We broke below. Note how we retested the previous support as the new resistance got rejected, came back down, and now we're forming this candle again. So what are we looking for crude oil? So one thing to note is we're forming a bottom here, okay? There's a double bottom here, but so far we're still on a downtrend, right? You guys can see how we're still pulling below the support and we're still on the downtrend. So even though we slightly recover, I do expect crude oil to continue to go down. One thing to note is a little caution is if you're bearish crude oil, we did make a double bottom today. So we can still expect this to come down, and should it start breaking and closing below 64.57, 64.50, that's when we can say that crude oil is definitely bearish and that we're looking for next support around 62.37. Note that that's around $2.50 away, $3 away. So that's what we're looking for in the near future. So if you guys want to take a position, this is a position that you could take, DWT. We talked about DWT inverse crude oil, right? Here we are. And we said that the best time to take a position was actually when we started bouncing off the blue line, right? The light blue line, which is the 20 EMA. And just note that we weren't able to take advantage of that because it happened so early pre-market that we weren't able to go there. But in the meantime, if we do see it at the 20 EMA once again, around $9.20, we could take a position and then have it go even higher. And we know where to set your stop loss. So DWT is certainly one that I'm looking into as well. So yeah. Looking at DRIP, okay, so I'll talk a little bit about DRIP. I sold my position today's DRIP. Show you at the 1 minute chart why I sold it here. So I sold it when it was spiking up. Note that was propagated by the crude oil or inventory reports, and now I sold it at 724 right here. How did I know this was the high? Well, I saw it that it was struggling to break above this area, and I was looking at level 2 as well. And note that we're pretty much near the previous high, right? The previous day intraday high. So I didn't really want to take a chance because DRIP can fall quickly as it moves very quickly. So I sold my position here, and now it's going all the way down. So that's what I'm doing, looking for in DRIP. And all right, let's take a look at /GC track gold futures. So gold futures, I'll show you the 180-day chart once again, and it's pretty much muddling in between, not doing much. And this is exactly what we expected. Note JNUG only went up like 0.28%. This is not moving quickly, and therefore we're not taking any positions. This is not a defined pattern on JNUG. It's going, it's supposed to be heading down. It looks like it's trying to reverse back up. Regardless, there's not enough potential for profit in this area, so JNUG and JDST are off my books for now. What's next? Am I missing one? Yeah, natural gas. Okay. So here's /NG or natural gas. We talked about natural gas having a support around 2.881, but more importantly, we said that it's making higher highs plus higher low. This is something that we want to actively invest in if we get a good opportunity to do so. Right now, we're at a pretty good opportunity. We're at a support, and this is where you could take a position on the ticker UGAZ or UGAZ. If you're a little more conservative, you can take a position down here, right, at 2.839, or the major support at 2.819. That just depends on your comfort level. But UGAZ is a play that I'm looking at in terms of commodities. Here's UGAZ on the 180-day chart. You can see that we're doing the same double bottom right here at the support, and it could still reverse back up. So that's a pretty good trend to go into if you were to take a position on natural gas. All right. I'm going to show you guys SOXL because I went into SOXL. SOXL is an interesting one because we had a bull flag pattern shown by this kind of pattern right here, right? Got a push, got a consolidation, got another push. So this is very promising pattern. And so you might be asking, well, Kevin, aren't we going to stop at 186.96? Aren't we really close? But it doesn't necessarily have to stop here because we're in a bull flag pattern. As markets continue to push higher, we do expect this one to pop even higher, even though we're at a critical resistance. So that's just something to think about, right? We're at a resistance level. This might come down to the 20 EMA, maybe start consolidating before another leg up. So SOXL. That's still looking pretty bullish right now overall. I'll show you guys Tesla. I think all of you guys were looking at this one. All right. Tesla is a very interesting one. It's following the pattern that we saw for AMD. Note that AMD was the ticker to watch for June because of this pattern, right? Bull flag pattern on the 3-year chart. Who doesn't love that? Okay. But here's AMD. What's Tesla doing? Okay. All right. It's a bull flag pattern. I agree. Has it played out to the upside yet? Not yet. Which is why we went to 322 today and we got rejected, right? You see how we went to 322 on the 1-minute chart? We got rejected and came down. So are we going to take a position right now? Not yet. But if we do start getting a close above 328, like let's say Tesla pops another $8 tomorrow and we start closing, I'm almost certainly going to take a position on Tesla at that point because Tesla is extremely, extremely bullish at this point. And because it's been consolidating for so long, and you guys see the potential it can, it can make should it start breaking this resistance area, right? Because it's been consolidating once again at the 3-year chart. Look at what AMD did. Tesla can do something similar. So this is a pattern that I am definitely eyeing, and I hope you guys are looking at this one as well. Let's get to some of your tickers. All right, let me just pop. Hey, Craig, Kevin, can you check out LUV? Thanks. LUV, is that an airline? Oh yeah, okay, Southwest Airline. So LUV, we're looking at a 3-year chart. So this is not a very nice pattern. You guys can see that even though it's been making, it's been making higher highs. Right now we have this continual sell pattern, right? Sell, 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 sell. Weekly sells, weekly declines, and then we're pretty much at the orange line or the 150 SMA. So you might be asking, isn't this a good time to buy? Well, the one thing is, because it's been selling for so long, so consecutively, we want to see some consolidation at the 150 SMA before taking a position and then risking it going back up. Because at this point, there's no signs of reversal yet. Note how we broke the previous support, which was pretty much right here, and now we're closing actively below this major support. You guys can see that, right? We're closing below the major support. So this is not a pattern that I want to go in right now, but I do agree. I'm going to set an alert. Should we start breaking above like 52.32 and closing above there, that's a sign that it might be consolidating. So I'm going to create that alert. Boom, it's done. And yeah, LUV is an interesting pattern once it starts going back up. Chris, love the stock talks. Thank you. Can you talk about ROST? Yeah, absolutely. So here's ROST. Good trend, I think, overall. We're looking at the weekly chart, the 3-year chart once again. ROST is ROS. Ironically, ROS is doing well. That's kind of surprising. But the one thing to note is, look how this has acted as a previous resistance, right? Right here at 85.53, and we're pretty much right up there. So one can argue that this might be a more bullish streak, but one, just be careful because yes, we do have some sort of flag pattern, but the flag isn't very established there right now. It can still come down, and it's been doing this for a while, but you can imagine how this can still come down as the weekly candle has not closed yet because it's not Friday. So just be careful on this one. I wouldn't actively invest in this one right now. Tesla is the one that I'm looking at. So, all right. Yarvin, thank you, Kevin. A wealth information. Can you please take a look at REIS? Yeah, let's get to that right now. REIS. Whoa, okay. So let's look at the 1-year chart. This one makes me dizzy a little. So, okay. So, interesting pattern. Let me just see the potential for this one. Right, so the potential for this one is only 4 to 5%. It's a little less risky. I like this higher low pattern. Not sure what's happening with these massive down spikes down here, but you know that there's a resistance. We're pretty much at the near the resistance, right? Where are we? Let's get that 0% down. Okay, good enough. So you guys can see that we're at the resistance near the 2210. We're at 2145. Where's the best time to take a position? Hold on. Let me just. What is going on here? Oh, okay. So so the one thing is, look at the little volume on this one. That's why it's been hopping up and down so quickly. Because the volume is so little, I don't like to invest in ones that have volume, because think about it, right? If the stock is not liquid enough, the spread is, I don't know what the spread is, but the spread is really big, or could be really big, and you won't be able to sell your position if you wanted to, if you needed to really exit really quickly. So REIS is not something I would go in, but that's just me, right? So, all right. What else do we have? Eric, no stock talk for June 5th. Yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, we talked about it on June 4th, the end of the video. There wasn't a stock talk yesterday, and sorry about that because I was on the plane and I was thinking, well, probably can't upload a video on the plane and do a video, right? So yeah, but hopefully you'll enjoy this one. IS, can you please talk about the future for GASL, natural gas, oil, and gas ETF? GASL. So this is probably going to follow natural gas. Okay, yeah. So here it is, and okay, let's take a look at what's the volume of this thing. So yeah, the volume is really low on this one. It's 110,000 on a daily chart. So this is why I like UGAZ or DGAS in terms of natural gas, because the volume generally is greater than that. And similar to the previous example of the stock, we know the position where we can exit and enter a little better. So right now you guys can see that yes, we're going up. Now we're coming down, and there's, it's kind of hard to define, but the support might be around 2049. It's a little harder to see on this one, and yeah, the potential is not there for this one in my opinion. It's just, if you buy in right now, like, it's making higher lows, it might still come down, break the support. We're in a descending triangle formation, and not something that I want to participate in right now. So yeah, good, interesting call out though. Terry, great content, Kevin. Please make more of these videos. All right, well, yeah, I hope to make these videos for you guys, so it'll benefit us all, right? Great value bleach. Can you look at SOXL? Yep, we did that earlier today. West Smokes, can you please go over GRPN and RSC? So I'll take GRPN. It's the first one you called out. We talked about this one, right? So here's GRPN. Actually, this was making higher lows until we broke under, and now we're all of it consolidating at the support area again. So let's take a look at the 3-year chart. Yeah, so for this one, you know that there's a very strong resistance at 589, right? We're not close to that number yet, but we could be. And the reason why this is a little concerning is because the resistance is right here. This pattern isn't really obvious. Sure, we can stretch this pattern like this, right? But if I did that, is this a good position to buy? Well, you would obviously say no, right? Right? Look at the number of candles above, the number of candles below, and look at the gap that it needs to fill below down here. So this is not that we're like in the middle territory, we're in the uncertain territory where we don't really want to take a position on any case, bullish or bearish. We want it to come down, reconfirm this is the support, take that position. If it comes up, short sell that position. But right now in the middle, do nothing. So that's my analysis for that one. David, clearly I bought Costco too early. Let's take a look at Costco. I know we looked at this in the past. So Costco. Yep, so time is on your side. So Costco, yeah, we talked about how Costco is trying to break out right now, but it's been squeezed in by this, right? Ascending triangle. So it's still doing the same thing. Not much movement here. Maya, love your videos. What is a good entry for FSLR? So let's look at this one. FSLR, wow, we saw a 4.6% decline today. So yeah, so right, this decline, obviously not something we want to participate in. Almost can argue that this might be a potential good short sell opportunity once we start. The 20 EMA is over here, right? Wait for the 20 EMA to catch up, consolidate sideways, take a short sell position, boom, it goes down again. So the next support we see is around 4704. $4.04 or $47. That's still a ways to go, right? So even if you started short selling now, what's the potential for profit here? Still like 15%. It's pretty good. But at the same time, you know, because we fell so quickly, let's wait for it to kind of consolidate sideways and for it to come down and then take that position, right? Good stuff. Hey, Eric. Oh, Eric, you posted twice. Very nice. I would really love if each day you break down one ticker that you see value and potential in that we might not be aware of. So we break down commodities and we break down those tickers just to kind of, you know, show you that which ones are of value. For example, today we feature like Tesla, sometimes AMD, and the monthly videos, right? The tickers to watch. Those are the ones that I'm focusing on. So let's try not to get like 10 or more tickers. Let's just focus on a couple or a few so that we know where to enter and we don't get jumbled in our head like, oh, maybe this one, maybe this one. We just want to be definitely this one because of this reason. So that's, in my opinion, that's the best kind of strategy to look into. Rizwan, can you go over the ticker JPM? Yeah, I'm going over a lot of tickers today, but that's kind of to make up the previous video. So JPM, right? This is a good trend. I like it. This is another bull flag pattern. You guys can see this, right? This is a bank, JP Morgan. The bull flag pattern isn't taking shape very significantly yet, so I want to see a little more of this. The longer we do this, the better potential we have for it to go continuously higher. So not right now. Let's give it a week, a couple more weeks to see how this plays out, and then we can take that position once it starts making its move. But right now it looks like it's just starting its flag position. Tesla, it's done this for a long time. So all right. Hey you, thanks Kevin. Have a safe flight tomorrow. All right, thank you. Yeah, it was a very safe flight. Giants, hey Kevin, thanks for the great info. A safe trip. All right, sweet. The last one we'll look at is MU. So we talked about MU. Let's take a look. What exactly happened with MU? Okay, so here's MU on the 180-day chart, and we talked about how there was a massive decline, and that when we get to the 20 EMA, we can take a short sell position. So right now, we're at the 20 EMA line. We can take a short sell position pretty much right now. The reason is we're at the 20 EMA. We stop loss out, around 2% out. But once we get down there, that's a lot of potential for it to drop. So this is actually kind of interesting pattern. Okay. Yeah, so we can take a short sell position now. Just note that earnings are also coming up. So that might also influence, you know, it might not come all the way down. It might just do this drop here before it starts going up because of earnings or whatever news that's going to come out. So at this time, I wouldn't take a position. I might do a short sell if you're willing to do a stop loss immediately out. But yeah, that's where I am with MU. All right, I think that's all the tickers that you guys called out. Thanks again for watching this video. I hope this video is helpful and you guys can see some value in some of these tickers. These tickers are emerging as the markets are pushing higher. These bull flag patterns are emerging really quickly. Take advantage of those positions while we can. It doesn't happen that often in which we see 3-year pattern, bull flag patterns start playing out. So, oh, one more thing. I did take a position on AMD today at $15.30. But all right, that's it for today's video. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for another Stock Talk. Like, subscribe. If you didn't like it, I hope you like it in the future. Subscribe to the channel as always. And yeah, see you tomorrow.